All right. So we have some follow-ups from the last meeting. So James, you had that multi-project testing. Uh, well, I saw that you opened the issue and you shared that with us.
Yep. So we have a problem validation issue opened in the GitLab UX research project. Jackie is also interested from a multi-project environment perspective on this.
Okay.
Has a customer or a prospect who is willing or who wants to talk already. So we're going to do just a quick intro call on that pretty soon. I don't think it'll be today, but it could even be today. That'll help kind of inform some of the loose hypotheses that we have. And then we'll want to pull them back in for the formal research and problem validation interview. But it feels like we're already making some progress there, which I'm excited about, especially since I was out basically all week at a conference. So pretty pumped about that. But that'll be the focus from a problem validation perspective for me during the 12/8 milestone time, is starting to figure out what is the real problem here in the multi-project space, and how do we help customers test when they're dealing with a multi-project type environment.
Okay. Do we know what time-wise, how is this looking like? I mean, like, when do we need?
So I would anticipate doing interviews in 12/8 and synthesizing those so that we could do some design in 12/9 around one, or at least user story mapping and start design.
Yeah. That makes sense. Let me think something here.
One of the things that falls into this problem space is what we're already doing with the JUnit report, JUnit errors plus screenshots, that falls into system testing and is going to help drive that category and the direction there.
Okay.
Of getting feedback from how that's going. What I'm interested in doing is getting more feedback now about, you have multiple projects that you need to test together.
Got it. Yeah.
How do we help you do that by spinning up multiple review apps or review apps that work across projects in a single environment?
Yeah, that makes sense.
The other thing then is, how do you start to test like API contracts between projects where I've got, this microservice over here, this microservice over here. How do I validate that they can talk to each other and that we didn't break our service contract with our change?
Okay.
So that might be another, it's more of a headless environment, but how do we spin up both of those microservices, or how do we leverage like the Docker or one of the other package repos and say, hey, give me the latest artifact and I want to test against it and see when I hit that endpoint, what kind of responses I get. So
right.
Can you leverage something there?
Okay. So one thing that I'm not clear about this validation is, are we doing this self-service, or are we expecting like Glory's help with this?
So I want to talk to that customer today, or that prospect today, and talk to Jackie a little bit and see if we can leverage some of her existing contacts.
Okay.
So I guess the answer is it depends.
Okay.
If we think we have enough folks already teed up to do some problem validation here, we will let Lori off the hook on this one. But I'll let both know within a couple of days if that's a reasonable time frame to see about getting some recruiting done for this problem space.
Got it.
Yeah, that's great. If you guys have customers already lined up, I know Jackie's been working really hard to build those relationships. Please use it. You don't have to go through Emily to get recruiting done if you've already got people lined up. So cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. All right, you have one question for me there, which when is accessibility design review be done?
That's kind of our last step in the solution validation for the MR widget for accessibility.
Yeah.
I know that you had some more discussion.
I have one more call next week.
Okay.
I actually put that at the bottom of the call. So I already had 3, 1 more next week, 4, like 5 calls. Like basically everyone, I think I'm pretty clear about what are the iterations that need to be done on these.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the idea here is, okay, so I'm gonna be out the week of the first week of February. I'm gonna be out.
Okay.
So my idea is before leaving. Actually, I'm gonna be out starting like Thursday of next week. So my idea is before leaving, I want to wrap up like the conclusions. Basically the same way that we did that, kind of like finalize call in which you remember the first solution validation that we did, that I kind of like went through a call and like explain you guys my findings.
Yep.
Probably gonna do the same. Then probably gonna update the designs based on that, and then I think it's up to you, James, when to move these to development. I mean, like I know, like right now, like Drew has been working on that, but
yeah, he's been working on the raw report.
Yeah,
we're gonna need front end.
Exactly. So basically, the question is, when do you want to move this to front end? As a front-end initiative, but basically my idea is to have this wrapped up by next week.
Sweet.
Yeah.
If it's wrapped up by next week, then what I'll do is I got to look at the rest of what I have teed up for 12.9, but we might bump this ahead of some of the other stuff.
Okay.
That's in 12.9 to keep the momentum going on this category.
Yeah.
I had some great conversations with a couple of existing customers and a couple of non-customers at the conference I was at about our direction on accessibility, and they were really excited.
Yeah.
As they said, it had always been, just like we'd heard in the interviews, somebody's passion project. Yeah. And then most recently, like in the last weeks, all of a sudden there's this top-down push of you have to test for accessibility.
Right.
And
it's definitely getting heat because of like so many new developments in that area in terms of like compliance and laws and like many other things. It's definitely. No, I'm excited about this. So yeah, I think like I'll be wrapped up, and then I'll let you kind of like go through the roadmap and like see what's happening in like upcoming stuff. But like, expect to have like this ready like by next week.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So then the other thing in the load testing that's kind of teetering back and forth between problem and solution. I was rereading the interviews yesterday, and I don't feel like I'm getting a lot of great insights out of them. It feels like we have like 2 or 3 insights of, and I mean, we can set up a separate time to dig into it, or I can create some artifacts so that we can look at it async. But I'm struggling, and I'd like some help in distilling those interview notes down to a couple of just succinct insights that we have from those that help prove out our problem, so that I can finish up the canvas and get it presented so that we can move forward with this.
I mean, like,
so I guess my question to both of you is, what's going to be the best way to do that? Should we set up a time to review the notes together, or look at my proposed insights? Do you want me to create insights in a UX issue? How do you want to approach that?
So my first thought is, if you're not seeing the insights from the notes, we may have to go back and watch the videos.
Okay.
Because if they weren't captured for whatever reason, we might need to go back and do that. And maybe we can definitely do that async and take additional notes as we're watching the videos. And then what we can do is, with those notes, what I've had people do is pull out what they see and put it in a mural board, and then we can affinitize, group those stickies in the mural board and see what we see.
Okay.
We can try it that way. That way that it can be very, we can do those first two steps asynchronously, and then when we get to the point of wanting to talk about our groups, we should do that in a meeting so we can kind of discuss why we put things in places and why we thought this was an important insight.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
That's my suggestion.
Cool. So I would say, yeah, let's do that. Oh man, now I wonder if I actually recorded the 2 interviews that we did without you, Lori. Oh no.
Well.
All right. Well, I'll hunt those down.
Okay. If you did, they're on your computer or in the cloud somewhere. So
yeah, I was
they'll be there.
Say I'll go look in my Zoom recordings after this call.
Okay.
And
if you don't have it, we may just have to go and find 2 more people to talk to.
Yeah.
Or talk to those 2 people again.
Yeah.
If we can get in touch with them. Yeah.
Well, the 2 that we talked to were runner developers who, while they think that, and maybe this is where I'm struggling. Like I said, I went back and reread the interview notes yesterday, and I got insights from Tanya and Grant, who are using load testing today. The runner team is not. And they don't know if there's value to it for them.
Oh, well, that's an insight.
Yeah, I guess their use case is that they're rate limited. And so the service that they're talking to is the one that would probably benefit from load or from load testing.
Okay. So have we talked to that service, those people who do that?
Not. So maybe that's the next step is round up, like internally go talk to whoever runner is talking to on the whatever the GitLab server is, and talk to them about how they would use load testing to better inform what their service is doing from a performance and a load standpoint.
Yeah, and depending on how that conversation goes, you may even have one more conversation with that group and then the initial group that you talked to together.
Yeah.
Because they work together, right? And then, depending on what you find out from the second round, you may just put them together to say, hey, let's have a group conversation about this idea.
Okay.
Yeah. But
all right, well, in the meantime, so I'll hunt that down. I'll go back and I'll talk to Elliot and see who I need to talk to from an architecture perspective. I will see if I have those videos stored on my laptop from our discussions. And what was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, and I will write up the insights that I do have based on the discussions with Grant and Tanya. And we'll put those together. So we'll attack this on a couple of fronts. Hunt down more people to interview, write the insights for what we do have, and look for the videos to rewatch and see if we can't distill some things async.
Yeah. And when you write the insights, I would just go ahead and put them in a Google Doc for right now instead of the repo.
Yeah.
Because you've got other people to talk to and stuff. So yeah.
Okay. I'll start up a Google Doc and share it with both of you then so that we can work on that together a little bit.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's perfect.
All right, I'm going to take that note before I forget to do the thing, and hopefully do it before this time next week.
Or next week, it's just the YouTube. I'm out, just so you know.
I'm sorry,
I'll be out the next 2 meetings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Lori and I will talk about this then.
I'll be out next meeting too.
I think I already canceled.
I'll be here through Wednesday next week. I'm just
I canceled it. I actually did cancel the meeting next week.
I was going to say, I think we're already canceled for next week.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that gives me a couple of weeks then before I have to talk to either of you to get that stuff done, which is slower than I'd like, but I will, we'll keep making progress here, and we can discuss async if need be.
Definitely. I was just going to say, I'll be out, but I'll be back. So I can talk on via issues and Google Docs for sure.
Okay, cool. And we've already talked design stuff. I did want to ask Juan, what do we have teed up for design in 12.8 for you on the testing group? I don't think there's...
We have, okay, so I actually was looking at that yesterday.
Oh yeah, it's the same ones we were working on in 12.7, the JUnit plus screenshots and accessibility.
Yeah, so there's a spill off, but there's also, I think you put a spike on that screenshot in the issue review tool, right? You said that.
Yeah.
So probably I'm gonna be doing designs for this here. I mean, this seems to be kind of like, I think there's already an existing branch with this feature and everything. So, I mean, it's up to you. If you like, I think I do have I have time to.
Oh yeah, the add ability to take screenshot.
Yeah, this one. That one's in 12.9, so that's.
You said there's existing design, or there's an existing?
No. I'm saying that there's like there's an existing branch created by.
Did somebody start working on this already?
Yeah, I think Scott, before he left, he had a branch that like.
Oh yeah, he did that proof of concept.
Yeah.
And we were waiting to get that into the UX playground before we move forward.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna add that to our next testing team meeting to figure out where it landed.
Okay.
And I'll ping in the issue again, since it probably moved milestones.
Yeah.
For Daniel to see like what's blocking us on that. What can we do to help get that moving?
Yeah.
Once we have that done, then let's talk about what we're going to do with that issue. I think it's okay if we punt that out a little bit. There's too much to do. But yeah, I think that'll be all right. We can, especially since you're going to be out for the next couple of weeks anyway. Let's get the design tight, or just make sure that the design is tight and wrapped up and ready to roll on the other two issues. And that the front end folks who are here don't have any questions before you're out for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm just out for 1 week. I'm just gonna sit out for like starting that Friday, and then
gotcha. You're out
next Friday. So it's not as dramatic as I'll be here.
Excellent. Cool. All right. So you good with that plan forward?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Great. I'm gonna go find those meetings and add those notes right now. All right. Anything else either you want to talk through today?
I'm good.
I think we're good. Yeah.
Cool. Lori, you're Midwest, right?
I'm in Dallas.
You're in Dallas. Oh, for some reason, I thought you were in Missouri.
Nope. No, Texas, whole different world. Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to mention that just because I was just in Seattle, and I was having a conversation with somebody about the difference in rain of what we were experiencing in Seattle, because it drizzled basically the entire time I was there.
Yep.
And like those Midwest thunderstorms are like what I'm used to from Wyoming and Colorado, of the afternoon summer thunderstorm and rain. Yeah. And they said it doesn't rain a lot in Seattle. It rains very often in Seattle.
Yes. So I lived in Seattle for 8 years, and I'm from Louisiana. So it actually rains more in Louisiana than it does in Seattle. Yeah. But it's like gray, dreary. You have less light there, in the gray, dreary time too. And yeah.
From when the plane started the descent on Monday into Seattle, so we broke through cloud cover yesterday afternoon on the way home. I did not see the sun.
Wow. That's all this January. Yep. But you wouldn't know that there's like Mount Rainier right there or anything.
I lived 2 years in Seattle before moving to Austin, actually. So I'm pretty familiar with that gloomy weather.
Oh man. I mean, coming from Colorado, where we get 200, 250 plus days of sun a year, it was just a whole different world. I could not do that.
Yeah. And you always know the tourists because they're the ones walking around with umbrellas.
Yes. It was raining hard for a while. Like legit, not just misty stuff. Like I'm fine with that. Like it was
That is
actually
climate
raining.
change. That is climate change. It shouldn't be that heavy rain. It could be like a light rain, but not like a torrential downpour. And they have had those. They've had thunder. They've had tornadoes. Like none of this is appropriate for that climate at all.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, total side tangent for the end of the meeting, but that's okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're back in the sun.
Yeah, me too. All right. Good talking to y'all. Juan, if you want to post up the recording so the team can watch it and then send the link over their way, or send it to me and I'll take care of it. That'd be awesome.
Right. I'll do that for sure.
All right.
Right.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Have a great
Bye,
Friday,
guys.
folks.